Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Head shave today. I'm not going to be shaving my face because, as you can probably see, I'm a little bit red raw from yesterday's shave using the Holy Black gunpowder spice. It really did not agree with my skin at all. Beautiful soap, loads great, lather's great, shaves great, great slickness, just terrible, almost like an acid burn, that's what it felt like. And I didn't actually get quite as close to my shave because as I was pulling the blade along it felt like it was ripping my skin off. That's how bad it was. So head shave today is going to be a cola shave, as you've probably seen from the photograph. Well, you probably haven't seen, but I'm going to be using Wickham 1912 Club Cola, one of my favourite scents and easily one of my favourite performing soaps. I've used this one quite a bit, there's still loads left in there, but I finally get to pair it up with a cola scented aftershave, I suppose, which smells lovely. Absolutely love the smell of it. Picked this up from Stephen the Suffolk Shaver on YouTube, and I'm really looking forward to using it. It's come all the way from Suffolk in England to Scotland, and then made its way from Scotland on the plane all the way over here to Australia with my dad. Now the brush I'm going to use today, I'm going to be using the Frilot Custom Manchester United brush. However, this is now the brother of my brush. Very similar colour, similar styling, different handle shape, both made by Frilot, both Manchester United brushes. Same knot, but as you can see the small chubby one has got slightly more loft on it, so it's splayed out a bit more. So let's just see how we get on with it. So I'm going to dip it in the water. I'm going to bowl lather today. I'm just going to load the brush up and then bowl lather in the Saponificio Varicino bowl, and let's see how we go. This is a super scented soap. It's around about a 5 out the tub, and then gets up around about a 5.5, 6 when it's actually got a bit of water into it. And it's just a superb performing soap. I've actually got some more on the way. I've got 3 in my drawer at the moment that I haven't used yet. I just wanted to use this one today. It's a little bit cooler here today, and as much as this is a cola scented soap and it reminds me of sort of ice cold drinks, it is still quite a warming scent as well. It's just a beautifully complex scent for what it is, but it's the performance of Wickham that stands out for me as well. I do find with a lot of his soaps, obviously the soap base influences the scent on his soap a little bit, so I do find every now and then that I do get one that's, just put a little bit of water in there, I do find I do smell some of Darren's other soaps in different scents, but the Club Cola is just a scent all of its own. I haven't smelled another soap that smells like it. I haven't tried another cola flavoured scented soap. So I've just done it in the bowl. Now one thing with this brush is because it's short handled, it's hard to get into a deep bowl. I do prefer a longer handle for this bowl. Add a little bit more water. It's just whipping up already. Nowhere near as much as I need, but it will get there. Just needs a little bit of working. And this bowl will do the trick. It's starting to thicken up now, which is good. As you can see the difference already. Oh, love it. Love this scent. Absolutely love it. I haven't done a head shave of Wickham for quite a long time now. Probably 2 or 3 months. And this was the soap that really sent me down the route of artisan soaps. I picked this one up at the time, and I also picked up Russian leather, which I paid forward to a friend over here in Australia. Right, I've got 2 days, I've got 3 days growth on my head, so I should have enough soap there. Right, the razor, once again, is going to be the Razorock Wunderbar, and I just wanted to load the blade for you guys as well so you can actually see. I've left the handle a little bit loose. Now one thing I didn't realise with this razor when I first picked it up, I thought with it being a slant it would only load, the actual top cap would only load into the base one way, so that's, I've just took that straight off, popped straight back on. But it doesn't, it is just machined so superbly that if you actually turn it around, turn it right round, drop it on, it loads perfect. It is and you guys can probably see there, it's just machined to perfection. It's not the prettiest looking cat, I will say. It's not. It looks very industrial. It's not a high polished. It just looks sort of, I don't know, like almost like when you buy a brand new ring and you wear it for a few months and then it gets a little bit sort of worn looking. That's what it looks like. But it's nice because you don't have to worry about it looking spot on all the time, or worry about the polish being great and not being scratched. It's got an unfinished look to it. Now, when the blade goes in, this is the Kai blade again. I think this is the 4th or 5th use, I'm not sure. I'm just using it until it feels shit. I've given up counting with these blades now, they're just superb. When you pop it all in, now this is a very thick blade, and I found trying to unscrew the handle afterwards is a little bit tough, because in order to get this blade to work, this razor to work, you've really got to clamp it down. You can hear it clicking and cracking and stuff. And then when you put your handle on, it needs an extra little twist right at the end, just to really grind. And you can actually, I don't know whether you can hear it. You probably haven't heard that there. You've got to really grind it in there. It's so tight. And because the blade's so thick, you've got to give it a bit extra oomph. But that's the blade in there now. The slant on this is just insane. It's just so slanted. But superb razor. Let's wait ahead. Now there's another reason why, especially for bowl lathering, not so much for face lathering, but bowl lathering, your brush gets caked in soap. The good thing with this one is I've got the little black bit in the bottom I can hold on to, which is actually quite comfortable. I can feel the difference between this Game Changer and this knot and this handle being a little bit higher than with my Manchester United brush, which is set at 48mm, which is very low loft for this, for the knot, but works very well for head shaves. I find the low loft. It's not great for a face shave, I must admit. But I bought that brush back when I was very inexperienced, didn't know much about knots and lofts and what type of knot it was, and it was the first real synthetic I actually bought, was a Game Changer in my Leo Frilot, and it still get used. I use it generally on big occasions for Man United games, and I've now got 2 to use. I've got my Celtic one as well. Right. Oh, I love this scent, I love it. Okay, so the Wunderbar Kai blade, I think it's the 5th use on this blade, I'm not 100% sure, I'm just going to go with the grain again. It's a great head shaving razor with this handle because the weight balance of it's great. It's not a heavy razor, but it's not a light razor, it's just really in the middle. I think this weight would really appeal to a massive range of people. Even guys that like heavy razors, there's enough weight for a heavy guy and there's enough weight for a light lover. It really is a very well balanced razor. It's got a big gap on the razor as well between the blade and the actual solid bar for flow through. As you can see, it's got the actual gap itself between the razor and that bar. Just here, that's the bar, and your blade is quite substantial. So for head shavers that have got a lot of growth, it's a superb razor. In fact, it's just a superb razor, whether you've got a lot of growth or not. But this will plough through heavy growth without clogging up, in my opinion. I haven't really had any heavy growth to use it with yet. just on a different, in my opinion, a different level to any razor I've used. Better than the Timeless, better than the R41, better than my Murgress. I just love it, I absolutely love it. Any guys out there just contemplating getting it, this is not a cheap razor by any means. If I'm led to believe from what one of my subscribers, one of the guys that watches the channel, he's just bought one after watching my sort of review on it. They've just come back in stock, I believe, or they might not be in stock, but on the site, but they have just made a new batch. If you're thinking of getting a slant, I'd strongly recommend you at least try this out. If you can get a loan of one, try it. It is superb. And I know everyone's different, but I tend to find only good things said about this razor. It's not an aggressive razor at all for me. I find this, believe it or not, less aggressive than the 34C, less aggressive than the Timeless, way less aggressive than the R41. It's a difficult one to describe. It feels, if I'm honest, like it's not really doing anything at all. I can feel it cutting the hair very comfortably. But I don't have any fear using it. I don't feel like when I'm using it I'm gonna cut myself. I don't get that feeling from it. So it just feels, you don't really feel the blade. You do feel it, but you don't. It's just a work of art, the razor. It's lovely. I love the titanium handle. I think it looks great. It's just a great looking razor. It's a great blend handle for me. It's probably about 85mm. It probably is about the same length as my Timeless. It's just a superb razor. Now that first pass there was with the grain, and I can tell you right now it's not bad. It's better sometimes than what I get doing an against the grain pass with some razors, if I'm honest. It really is that good. It's a very efficient razor without any pressure or aggressiveness in the razor itself. You can shave without real fear of getting cut or razor burn or anything like that, in my opinion. For me anyway. It might be different for me because I use a lot of aggressive razors. I use the R41 quite a lot. The Timeless is an efficient razor as well, but it's not an aggressive razor to me. But it's things like the 34C, I find a medium razor. I don't find it a mild razor at all. So you guys out there that find the 34C mild would probably find this quite a mild razor. But the efficiency blows the 34C away. In fact, it blows the R41 away, if I'm honest, and the Timeless. It's just superb and comfortable. And when you pair it with a soap like this, which has incredible performance, an incredible scent, incredible lather, you cannot go wrong against the grain there. And look, I don't want to get too cocky with it, because I will cut myself with this razor one day. But I just need to highlight the fact of how safe you can feel with this razor, even though it is a very slanted razor. It is the smoothest razor, if I'm honest, that I've used, especially on my head. That's BBS there, completely BBS from 2 passes. I'm not going over that part of my head over and over again. I'm not having to worry about heaps of razor rash or anything like that. Oh, there's no pressure with this razor. Obviously the way it's designed with that angle, it just chops through the hair. And that's across the grain there, and I'm pretty much BBS. It's a little bit just there, but I'll catch that on the way on my final pass. But it'll be interesting to see how quick this shave is. To say this is going to be a 3-pass shave, well, two pass and a pickups. I've done a lot of talking as well because I've sort of explained the razor a little bit, the brushes and things, but different level of this razor, I've got to say. I'm quite disappointed with myself that I haven't bought it earlier, but then again, for a while there this razor was pretty much unobtainium. There wasn't many of them going about. They weren't producing them as quickly as people wanted, there was people on waiting lists and all sorts. If you're on the waiting list and you've been thinking about buying it and there's now some available, and you've been wanting to buy it, you buy it. If you can afford to buy it, it's not going to put you at a detriment. And this razor's worth every penny, in my opinion. I would buy this over a Timeless any day of the week. It really is that good for me. And likewise with the soap, you can see the performance from it yourself. The slickness on Wickham soap is second to none. It really is that good. I absolutely love this soap. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible razor. And like I say, sometimes I'll get juddering on the back of my head. This thing generally, 99% of the time, is just a clean stroke with no juddering, no jumping, no nothing at all. It just whoops through the hair. Just like that. Just like that. That's against the grain. Yes, you're going to get a bit of juddering here and there, but on the whole, this razor just ploughs through anything. Not much left there. There's a couple of little strips at the back, but nothing much really. Just going into this water out again. Now, I've seen someone on Facebook popped on there to find it gross that people rinse their razors out in the water that they've just shaved with. I can understand maybe rinsing your face and washing your head with it when you're going to shave again, but I don't see what the difference is. You're just scraping stuff off your face of your head, put it in the water. It was already on your face of your head, so why would it gross you out rinsing your razor? Just don't get it. Especially if you use hot water, because it just, whatever you put your razor into, it will just fall off anyway. I use cold water, so things tend to stick to the razor a bit more, but I think you're being a bit pedantic if you're worried about that. Yeah. There's no irritation at all on my head anyway. Got absolutely loads of lather left, which I'm just going to cake it all on. It is strange using this knot, if I'm honest, because I've been using my 25mm Black Wolf, and all the knots I'm using at the moment seem to be bigger. The 24mm Black Wolf is pretty much the same size as my Game Changer knot, it feels a lot bigger on the face or on the head, so I don't feel like I'm painting on quite as much. Oh. What a scent. Right, this is just touch-ups, isn't it? Yeah, just the other thing I've mentioned as well, there's absolutely no blade overhang on this razor at all. It's completely smooth here on both ends of the cap. There's no blade sticking out at all. You can't even see the blade, it's so tight on the blade. So in terms of, you cannot nick yourself with the sides of this razor. The blade's well inset from the edge of the razor as well, as you can see, just there. So it's a very safe safety razor. Now that I've said that, I'll go and slice myself open. It won't stop me from using this bad boy anymore, that's for sure. That's a big winner for Wickham as well, they've got great residual slickness. If you're in the States or anywhere else around the world, you're not obviously in the UK or Europe, it's a bit cheaper for UK and Europe, but Darren over at Wickham does standard shipping rates for international, so if you buy a few of his soaps, I think it's £8.95. So if you're buying a few of them, it's worth it. The only thing I will say is it's expensive soap. You pay £15 for a soap when generally you'd pay $15 in America for the same amount or more soap. So, and the thing is, I've got to say, there's artisans over in America, K-Shave Works being one of them, that's a vegetal based soap, that are on a level playing field in my opinion in terms of performance with Wickham's. Darren's a very, very busy man, but he always takes time as well, just to, if you email him or you got questions, he takes time out. Or if you send him a Facebook message, he will take the time to answer you. It's not always straight away because time zone permitting. But he's been a busy, busy man since I started wet shaving, because his 1912 range started pretty much when I started wet shaving. And a lot of people were big fans of his super smooth range, and when he bought this one out were a bit dubious. But I think he's won a lot of those over with his formulation. And from what I hear, just rumours and murmurs, he is actually working on a super smooth version 2. If you haven't used the super smooth version 1, I was lucky enough to get a tub, which I paid forward again. I think I paid it forward, I might have traded it. No, I paid it forward. I paid it forward to Kent Lee. Now the tub that I got lathered very well, but I have heard people sort of struggle to lather it. But even those people that have struggled to lather it have still had superb shaves with it. Right, it's just a case of touching up the crown a little bit, which, as you'll soon see, with this razor, the pickups that I have to do on the crown are very minimal compared to even when I use my R41 or my Timeless. And you have to take into account as well with these head shaves when I'm doing them. This blade, I think this is the 5th use on this blade now for head shaves. So this blade has done 5 head shaves. Kai blade. And it's just ploughing. It's so smooth. I'm actually just taking a little bit longer here today. I'm just enjoying this. I mean, that's pretty much BBS now. There is just a tiny bit there. But as you can see, the Wickham soap is giving me heaps of residual slickness to get the job done. Absolutely loads. Just felt another little bit there. Where is it? Where did you go? That's a little bit there. A little bit sort of going that way. And that's me. That is an absolute peach of a shave. I know I'm up at 27 minutes. I did a lot of talking in between that just to sort of highlight the razor a little bit more. And I've sort of run out of superlatives for it. I mean, I know already that there is zero irritation on my head at all. None. There's also zero hair on my head at all. None. Right. Humphreys unscented. Well, it's not unscented, it's just witch hazel. It smells like bloody smoky bacon. Yeah. But it's good stuff. A nice little light. Back in a second. Right, I was just sorting something out with my mum there and I've totally lost my train of thought now. Yeah, I've just used the Humphreys. Just going to move on now to the Cool Fix by Shave Works. Don't really need it for my head, I never get ingrown hairs on my head, ever. But this stuff is just great. It's really good stuff. It lets you know if you've had a good shave because it stings like buggery if you haven't had a good shave. And that's not stinging at all. I've got a little bit of hair there. Just let me rinse my hands a bit before I pick the razor up. Just a tiny little bit. Where is it? Just there. That's it. Yeah, I've definitely had, I've done a head shave now twice with this Wunderbar and it's the 2 best head shaves I have had. This razor, if someone said to me, what's the only razor you could use for the rest of your life? At this stage, this is it. If I had to choose one razor that I had to take with me anywhere and everywhere and it's the only one I could use, it would be this bad boy. So smooth, so efficient, works on my face and my head, and it's good on both. It's just a tremendous razor. Right, get to finish off now with the Florida Waters cologne, made by, it looks like Murray and Landman. Now this has got a very cola scent. I'm really looking forward to using this. I think it's going to burn, I don't know. I mean, it's a cheap, nasty bottle. It's just plastic crap. Oh yeah, lovely. It'll probably burn like buggery. And it's not, it's got a lovely, lovely tingle. Oh, it does smell like cola. It doesn't smell 100% like cola out the bottle. But when you get it on your skin and it actually dissipates in the air, it really smells like cola. Yeah, oh yeah. What a shave. Well guys, that was an absolutely superb shave. Wickham 1912. Oh, Club Cola. Using the Leo Frilot custom. I'll just leave that a little bit wet because I'm going to be washing that. The Leo Frilot Manchester United custom brush, sent to me by Oive Chapel, or Alex, it's known to many people. The Wunderbar by Razorock. What a razor, really. I'm truly taken aback by how good this razor is. It's comfortable to hold, it's got a great handle, it's a great finish. Looks industrial but professionally done. It's just a beautifully built razor, and it shaves better than any razor I've ever used. So that's how good it is for me, personally. The bowl was the Saporificio Varicino shaving grail. Wonderful bowl, absolutely best bowl I've ever used for a lather. We then moved on to the Humphreys witch hazel, just standard scent, smells like smoky bacon. It's not a pleasant scent at all, but it does the trick, it does a good job. Then moved on to Shave Works Cool Fix, which I absolutely love. If you haven't got this in your den, this is great stuff. I've had a few ingrown hairs recently because of the cartridge razor shave that I had. I've managed to get most of them pulled out. I've been using this the past couple of shaves and I'm hoping it'll help my skin again, and I might stick to using it from now on. Then finished off with this awesome bottle of Florida Waters, which smells great. Thanks very much, Stephen, for selling it. It's hard to get hold of over here. It costs a lot of money if you want to try and sort of sneak it over. So I was really happy to get hold of that. And other than that, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm not too far away now from 750 subscribers when I'll be doing my next giveaway, and I'm still not 100% sure what that giveaway will be, but I'm looking forward to doing it. I'm still sort of working around what I'm going to do with it and how I'm going to go about it. But anyway guys, thanks very much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, pretty sure it's over here, subscribe button, click that button down there. And other than that, you guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.